Hello guys at Twitch and welcome back to my latest stream video. I am SassyBG, your friendly neighborhood streamer, and today I will be showing you the absolute best settings for your console or controller game type for the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War that just came out yesterday. Now you may be asking yourself, how can I know the best settings given that the game just came out? Well, the answer is very simple. I have spent an abundance of time playing the Cold War Black Ops open beta, which was made active for several weekends and quite a few days, at which point I managed to reach the absolute cap of level 40, try different loadouts, try different settings, so I will be making videos on those as soon as possible. But as I said, today's video will be on the absolute best settings that you can set for yourself to make sure you have the best reflexes, best times, and of course the best time spent having fun. Now, obviously, I will have to say something as a bit of a disclaimer, and that is the fact that I am not using a standard PlayStation 4 controller. What I'm using, in fact, is the SCUF Impact Pro Gaming controller, which is a bit different. Why is it different? Well, it has the shape of an Xbox controller, it has the button layout and stick layout of a PlayStation controller. However, on the bottom of the actual joystick it has 4 pads which mimic or copy the face buttons, which means that I do not have to move my right thumb, which is your actual aim. So my reflexes are a lot better and faster. And again, this is not an advertisement. I am not sponsored by SCUF Gaming in any way. I'm just saying what I have. As a matter of fact, I got this as a gift because I wouldn't be able to probably afford it myself. So a big shout out to my man Sam Smith in the UK who got me this nice gift some time ago. But anyway, we'll be getting now into the settings. Now when you press the settings, you're going to see first of all, of course, is your controller. I have only one input, but as far as I know, you can plug in a keyboard and a mouse depending on what your settings are, so you can play them like this. I've been playing controllers for the last 6 years, and quite frankly my reflexes are now up to speed. So basically we have now our controller. The first and most important thing is your stick sensitivity. Now I'll be honest with you, I've watched hundreds of videos of different games of what settings to use, and every single video I've watched says the same thing, and that is that settings are very personal on choice. Now I know this is really annoying because everybody looks for them, so I will show you what's best for me and I'll explain why it's best for me. Now first of all, I've been playing a lot of shooters, so my reflexes are a bit faster, a bit better than I would say someone who's just started the game. I have also, as I said, have a pro gaming controller, which allows me to have a lot more control, speed and agility when I make my actions, which means that my sensitivity needs to be higher. The lower your sensitivity, the slower actions you will be taking. The higher sensitivity, the higher, with of course less input on your controller. So for my horizontal sensitivity, if memory serves me right, I believe I was using a 7 or an 8. No, I think it was an 8. And for my vertigo I was using a 7. Now always have your vertigo a bit lower, because basically most of the time you will be moving left and right and less up and down, which means that your muscle memory on your thumb will not make the logic to be as fast going up and down as it will be going left and right. Now the zoom sensitivity, this is something that increases it. It's actually quite well explained, to be fair. It will either copy it or it will make it a bit faster. Now you do need to make it a bit faster, so set it at 1.5 both. Reason for this is that when I zoom, and I don't use a lot of weapons that need zoom to be honest, but I do need to have more control because otherwise your hip fire accuracy with weapons which are mid to long range is not so good. With the button layout, I use the completely normal standard layout as it is shown here. I don't think you need to change that unless you're used to it. Aim down sights, aim assist is enabled. I mean, let's be honest, we are console players. We do not have the same level of control as a mouse and a keyboard, and quite frankly, it's just an assist. It's not an aimbot. You're not going to aim them at a headshot every time you aim. It's difficult enough. Slowdown, strafing, aim assist is something that is better to use depending on your controller. I do not use Airborne Mental because I don't play well, Warzone and all types like that. Of course this is standard, this is standard, this is standard, of course. Attack vehicle, haven't really used that yet. Now, minimum input threshold. This is something that a lot of people ask. I've never occurred this. I have the same controllers for over 4 years on my PS4, and it was bought secondhand, so I imagine they were older than that. And my SCUF has been playing for 2 years quite heavily, and I have no twitch in my left or right thumbstick. However, here it does show that sometimes there are issues, which is basically your field of where you need to make max movement. So, what does this mean? Depending on the height of your actual thumbstick, you will have more or less control. There are some attachments you can use. I have used them, which makes your basically thumbstick higher, which gives you more control. But in this instance, it just depends how further from the center you can press. I would keep this standard unless you feel something twitching. Just keep it as it is. Controller sounds always cool, always fun. I'll keep them there. Auto move forward. This is something that I would be disabling, of course. However, auto sprinting I would be enabling. Why? Because if you put very low input in the left thumbstick, sorry, you will be having enough control to strafe instead of running. Most of the time, however, it's a very fast-paced game, especially if you're a highly aggressive player like me, always in the action, always rushing towards people. You need to be always running without pressing down. It's just more difficult on the controller because you have to press your actual controller left thumbstick. It makes things so much more difficult. Sprint castles reload, absolutely not. You need to be able to reload while you're sprinting. There are even some perks that make things easier and better. Parachute deploy, I would say yes, because well, sometimes you may be not even looking at the screen and then just drop and die. Equipment behavior, hold, of course, interact, tap to reload. This is something that I keep, and this is all there is about the controller. Graphics is something that I would leave as it is unless you need something more. I have a very large TV screen, unfortunately not corresponding to the quality in which I'm streaming right now, but I will be getting the PS5 with my full 4K there in the next few weeks. So basically this is everything that I would advise right now. Use those settings. I hope they're helpful. Hit me up, make some comments, subscribe of course to my channels on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram and Facebook, all called SassyBG1, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you on the battlefield. SassyBG signing out.